Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, the 26th of Feb, end of the month virtually, and this is Thursday and Friday, life of a small van driver. I'm Saintsman, small van driver on the CX, and sometimes not on the CX because I get jobs that don't come off there. The last video I did on Wednesday, when I ended up at, I did it Thursday morning, when I was waiting to go into Thatcham. I've got half hour to kill. I had to rush it a bit, I thought. I know it was 30 minutes, but I seemed to rush it a little bit. Because I had to get in there, and luckily I got in there half hour early. As soon as I did the video, I put it on there to post, which takes a while for it to download. And yeah, I got into Thatcham, into the company half hour before my booking in time, so that was handy. So that's where we start with Thursday. And yeah, got into Thatcham, left home. I was obviously going there. Got into Thatcham, got in there half hour before. I had to wait 10 minutes for them to. There was 12 boxes, and they have to scan each one, which don't take 5 seconds, which I did. And then I pulled out of there, and I was looking for a job. And I thought to myself, well, it should be okay. It was just getting midday, but there wasn't a lot around. There wasn't a lot going on. And I knew it was going to be a bit of a washout, to be honest. I thought this is going to be a bit of a washout today, because it's too late in the day to earn serious money. I was always thinking I was going to get home as well, because I weren't going to earn enough money to stay out, to be honest. Then a couple of jobs have popped up. I quoted, didn't get. I got a few drivers within 30 miles of me. There's about 7. There was none in Thatcham, so I was hoping something would come out of Thatcham. And there was Newbury's next to it. And then a job popped up in Newbury itself, to Chelmsford. And I've worked for this shipper a few times, know him quite well. And I quoted on it. I quoted 78 miles. It was a one box hospital to go to the hospital, district hospital in Chelmsford. And then until you get there, I realised I've been to Chelmsford before, hospital. I know I've done loads of hospitals, but I don't know which one, I forget. But yeah, but he did give me it. He's a nice bloke. He phoned me up and says, great, you do that job for us. And I think he likes it because I've done the hospital jobs for him before. He knows I haven't cocked any up, because they're a pain. Because they have to go to theatre, these boxes, or they have to go to sterile services, which if it's a big hospital, you can be looking for quite a while, until you get there. But so I picked that job up. I say by then it was 12, 1 o'clock. Yep, got the job. It was only one box, and it wasn't a massive box. They're normally big cases, but this was a smaller one. So took that over. It was a nice simple drive. It weren't no aggro on the M25 all the way round. M4 was fine. So we got there. It's about 2 hours, just over 2 hours, 2.25 hours. And yep, as soon as I got to the hospital, I thought, I know where this is. It's round the back, and it's in a little door, and you have to go in a lift up 2 stairs. And when I got to sterile services, which it had on it, sterile services, I'd got a name of a person. It was the actual consultant. They wanted it to go to the consultant. Sterile services says, no, it has to go, and he's in main theatre reception, which is up another floor. So even though I found sterile services, which is hard enough because it's a small place, I went up the floor, blah, blah. Yeah, we got it done. It took a bit of a faff. It was 25 minutes, half an hour altogether from getting out the van to getting back in the van at the hospital. What I do, I've got a laminated A4 thing with courier delivery. I've got courier on call, courier delivery, and I've got the name of my courier company on it as well. And what I do, I have it above the pocket at the top, and when I get to hospital, I put it in. There's a little slot, luckily in my van at the front. Oh, jeez, it's alright. I'm just something. Oh yeah, banana, stupid. And it goes in there. So, and I just park right as close as I can. Literally just park as close as I can. Sometimes I've even got a magnetic sticker which I put on the van on the outside, but I know the company I'm working for they want a plain van. But I put the courier on the front, so it's all there. And I haven't been done yet. So that got delivered, and that was about 3:30. I was starving hungry. And I went, and McDonald's is up the road, and I'm not a McDonald's fan, I really am not. I just like to support the local cafes and businesses, because we've got a local cafe and people support us, and we it's a better. I think it's more personal. It's keeping them going as well. But I couldn't find one. Nearest one was McDonald's. It was literally just right up the road, around the corner, and I just got coffee. Coffee's okay in there. Yep, grabbed a burger because I was starving and some chips. It's £4, something, I don't know. But it's tasteless, you know. I used to do food on 10 years. I used to do food. I'd make my own burgers and they're pretty tasteless, but it filled a hole. And then I'm waiting, and there was nothing. And there was 4 drivers in Chelmsford as well, so whatever was coming up was going to go cheap. So then I got a phone call. I was a long way from home. I've done a lot of dead miles this week. I'll come on to that. I was a long way from home. It was about 80 miles, 75 mile. I've got to go up to Stansted from Chelmsford and that way home up the A14, M11 A14. And I got a phone call from the bloke who gives me a fair bit of work, and he got jobs for Friday. He gave me a choice of jobs actually. He says you could pick which one you want. He says I think you'll go, and it was Nottingham and Leeds over the southwest, because on a Friday, if you're stuck in Exeter on a Friday afternoon, you're stuck in Exeter. You are doing 200 miles dead miles, or you've got to drive 70 miles up to Bristol, and you still may not get nothing to you. It's poor. It can be poor. I've had it once on a Friday, and all I got to Bristol, and all I got was a Bristol to Swindon for £30 or something like that, and that was just a bit of petrol money. But yeah, it's a lot of dead miles. So I took the Nottingham Leeds, and the reason for that is I knew I could be in Nottingham if I went early. I could be in Nottingham on Friday for 7. Anyway, digress. So I said yeah, I'll come back. So I thought, I sod it, I'm driving home. So I left home. I left there and got back. Picked the Friday load up on Thursday. So Thursday I ended up doing 280 mile, and I didn't get much more than 50 odd p a mile because the dead mileage just killed it. So not good. 140 quid all in. So, and it was 50p a mile roughly. Piss poor. Piss poor. I've had 2 days, but it's been piss poor. Monday and Thursday. Friday, moving on to Friday, I left home at 5:30 to be in. I knew I could be in Nottingham for 7 and get there before the traffic as well, because it's right in the centre of Nottingham. I've done this one before. It can be a pain to get into, but it's okay. I know where the service yard is, but if first time you go there, the service yard is nowhere near where the front of the store is. It's around 3 streets away, back in the back, under the ground. Yeah, but I know where it is. So we was in there for 7, and they were there. Delivered Nottingham 7. Come out of Nottingham, which was it's getting out then. I was out of there by 7:15, and then I went up to Leeds, and I wanted to be in Leeds, try to beat the rush hour, but it weren't going to happen. But I got there still in Leeds, and that was in 6N L1. When it's LS1, you know you're right in the centre, and it's right where the markets are, which all the guys set up on a Friday, so the vans were flooding in where I was going nearby. But I got it done, and it's underground car park. They've got their own service yard. They don't share it with anyone, which is great. Shutter up, you go in, shutter drops behind you, but you have to do your invoicing through the CX. You need Wi-Fi, and you're underground, so you have to get out. But yeah, you park outside. But it was done. 9:15. It was finished. And that Nottingham Leeds from my house, I got £106. So by 9 o'clock, 9:15, I'm 106 quid in the bank. So then I'm going to be patient. This is what I am not. Patience. Don't jump on any jobs going north. Don't want to go north of Manchester. I want to go home. I want one good job, or I want a job that takes me. Birmingham would have been nice. Down to, anywhere out of Leeds, that area. So I've been up to Leeds on Wednesday as well. Same place drop. And where I found a lovely perching spot was on I'll get it right, the M621. The A61, as it goes onto the M621, there's a little housing estate just before you go on it. You pull in there, you turn around to the right, and it goes in a loop and goes back out. Park there, you're quiet, and it's right by the motorways, intersections. Good word. So, all done. So we perched there. It's only 2 miles from Leeds Centre, and I'm sat poised, and it took a while. I passed on jobs, which if it had been any other day but Friday, I'd have been on them. There was about 4 drivers in the Leeds area. Leeds covers a good area. It's a little bit too far from Sheffield, I thought, although I'll come to that in a minute. It's just about 30 odd mile from Sheffield, but you got Wakefield, you got Bradford, you got all Normanton and all places. It's a lot of it. There's normally a lot. So I passed on about 5 or 6 jobs. There was one to Hull, there was one up to Newcastle. No, I don't want them. And a job come up to Bristol. I stupidly put a quote in and then cancelled it. I thought, what the hell am I doing? It's a bloody long drive, and I'm going to be in Bristol. That's no better than what it was. And then a job popped up from Pontefract to Ivor in near Slough, which, 180 miles. I thought, yeah, I want that. That's me. And I was only 7 miles from it. Not even that, I don't think. I thought, yeah, we've dismissed the dead miles. Just quote on it. Quoted on it. Quoted 128 because I worked it out and I just knocked a couple 130. And I thought, if everyone's doing that, I'll knock a couple of quid off. And then I thought, I'm going to phone. And I phoned, and he hadn't even looked at it, to be honest. He said, let me look, hang on, in that screen. And he said, sounds about right. I said what company I was, so I put the quote in and I give him my number. And he went, yeah, that sounds about right. He says, it's going down to Pinewood Studios. And another good thing, I've done Pinewood a few times. I said, I've done them a few times, COVID's. So I know them quite well. And I did know it quite well, I weren't lying. And I think that helps. And he went, you know what, he said, that you sound great. He says, I'm not even going to look at what quotes I've got. He says, what number's your number? I'll give him a number. And next thing he says, it's coming over now. While I was on the phone, it popped over. And it was 11 o'clock pickup. This was about 10 o'clock. So I've got an hour to get to Pontefract, which was about 10 mile away. In the end, it wasn't it was just... So, I trotted over to Pontefract, got myself a nice coffee, got myself a beautiful bacon baguette. I'd love to be able to tell you the name of the cafe. It was a small cafe. I can't. It's in Pontefract. The race course is on the right as you go in. And it was, it's lush. It was lush. And, had a beautiful coffee as well. A nice coffee, not instant, out the machine. And altogether it was only £4. And the bloody bacon baguette was sort of like that. I wish I had sausage in it and all. I'd tell you, I was starving. So anyway, the rest. So I picked this up, one item. It was to go back to Pinewood Studios. They'd rented some stuff. One box, weighed about 10 kilos. It was the size of a crisp box. Obviously got the equipment in. So yeah, put that on board. Direct delivery. He was quite specific that it needed to go direct. And he says, there's no co-loading. I said, I don't co-load. I says, on any job. I said I've never co-loaded because I think it's dedicated hot shop. So he's well happy. I said, tracker will be on. And I said, I will phone you when the job's done, which he was even more pleased about. So I trundled down the motorway. Yesterday was a boring day driving. I did motorway, Northampton, Nottingham, Leeds. I did motorway, Leeds, over to Pontefract, a little bit of A road, down the A1. It took me down across the M1, M25 motorway, and that took me into Ivor. Got to Pinewood. I said I'd get there for 3. I allowed myself 4 hours. I didn't leave till 10 past 11 because the stuff weren't quite ready, and traffic was horrendous. It's Friday, isn't it? It said I was going to get there at 2:30. I always give myself half hour. I did have a toilet break at Toddington Services, which is a dump, by the way. If Toddington, anyone in management on Toddington, your services are a dump. The toilets were disgusting. So, I just, don't want to go there. But anyway, got there, 2:55. I know Pinewood, you have to check in, get your pass, through to securities. And I didn't know where this place was. It was a building, different size building. But the guys at security were great. Got me on the right road, and I got there, and I was smack on 3 o'clock. So, delivered it, and... Then I sent the shipper the POD, and he wanted all through the CX, the invoice, the lot. Then I phoned him, left a message. He was obviously on the phone, just let me say everything was okay, all good. Told him the time and the person who signed for it, and everything's okay. So that I got 128. So I am on now £234, which is a mega day. It's been boring 'cause it's motorway, but hey, that's life. I'll take. So I'm on good money. Decided I was going to knock it on the head then because bless it, my auntie, I've got an auntie who's really poorly. She's been at home. She had to go in hospital. She was for a pain level. She's got a few problems, terminal problems. Me and my wife look out for her. Daughter and her son live a little bit away, so we go in once a week minimum. My wife's probably there twice a week. She had to go in hospital. They kept her in hospital for 3 days. Got her pain sorted, but she was very wobbly, and she was in a respite home in Luton because they wanted her to go in respite. They couldn't do no more medically, so they said she needs to go into a respite home. Told the family for probably a week just to build her up again, so she could go home and be safe, so she didn't have falls because she's fell a couple of times and it's back in the hospital. So she was in a respite and she's there till Tuesday because it was last Tuesday she was in hospital. She come out of hospital. She got 1 week in there, and it was in the middle of Luton. There's none in Northampton, not one respite home. The nearest one was Luton. So I thought on the way home, I'm going home. I was only 60 odd mile from home. 61 mile I think it was when I put it on the way. And Luton's on the way. So that finished Friday off. So Friday I did altogether 300 and, not counting the diversion into Luton, which weren't much. It was about 380 miles and for 234 quid, which worked out at 62ish, something like that. So it wasn't brilliant, but long distance stuff I'll drop down a little bit because I was getting pence per mile. Another thing, I set the cruise control because I was doing motorway. I had a little thing because fuel, which come on to. I set the sat nav at 63 mile an hour, which when I had the sat nav, the cruise, which when you look on my Google, on maps, and on my sat nav, is 61 because it's a little bit above. So I sat there at 61 all day, bored out my head. Luckily, it keeps in front of lorries, but pretty bored. But it worked out. I got 56.5 to the gallon, which is more than when I do 70, which I normally do 70, and it's about 68. I'm down to 51. Yes, it takes me longer, but I wasn't in a rush. And with the price of fuel going through the roof, perhaps that's the way forward. We'll see. And I had a load on going up. I had 100 odd kilos, 150 kilos, and it still averaged 56 all in. So, yeah, that's pretty good, I think. That's pretty good. So, do we keep doing that? I don't know. So, that was the week for me. Done. I ain't working today. I'm going to actually clean the van in a minute. It's actually filthy. And I blew it up. And I'm off to get a jerry can. A big jerry can. I've got one or two. That are 10 litre ones. I've got a 20 litre one. And I'm going to stock it with fuel. Because my fuel is going up. Anyway, I'll do my mileage for the week so far. I did 1,750 odd miles. I did 52 hours all in the week, so it was an average of 10 hour a day, and I got 975 quid all in. So I was only 25 quid short of 1,000 quid. So happy with that, very happy with that, because in January and February I lowered my target to 900, which is 180 a day. Is that right? Yeah, 180 a day. Yeah, 900. 180 a day. My average in the summer, I try and get 1,000 a week, 200 a day. Well, I did 975, so I got 195 average a day, and I had 2 crap days. I had 87 quid day on Monday, I had 135 quid day on Thursday, but I had 3 busy days. Early starts, I agree, 5 o'clock in the morning, them 3 days, but that gets the job, that gets your money in. So I could afford to have a couple of shit days. So, yeah, average was piss poor. But I looked then, my dead miles. I don't look very much at dead miles. I don't like doing dead miles. And in the summer, I will tramp. And normally in the winter, I'd probably tramp if it's okay. And it has been okay, but I didn't this week. I did nearly 300 dead miles all in. Some were only 30 miles, sort of, 40 miles. But I did 3 days dead miles at 70, 80 miles going home. And that's because there's not that many jobs on there at the moment, back in the afternoon. There's jobs in the morning, I'm sure. I'm looked, and at Leeds, there was jobs in the morning, and there's jobs up to lunchtime, and it just drops. And it's getting home. It's getting that job nearer home if you're going home. So in the summer, these dead miles won't happen because I'll stay out. I won't go home. If it's nice, I'll find somewhere nearby, park for night, site, and just stay out. Yeah. So that's why dead miles are coming into me. Right, quickly onto fuel. Where's my little book? Right, fuel prices they're going to go through the roof. Anyone who's got a fuel card, I imagine you've had the same as me. I've had a notification from my fuel card to say get as much fuel in your van as you can up to Sunday night, because they expect the pump prices at the fuel to go skyrocketing because of this bloody atrocity, what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. It's a nightmare. Fuel prices are going to go through the roof, apparently. Oil prices have gone up. I don't keep a check on this. This is what a fuel company's told me, that they expect it to go up. It hasn't gone up too bad. My fuel price is not too shabby at the moment. It's gone up next week on all cards. It's gone up 5p a litre. No, it's gone up 5p a litre on 2 cards, the BP and one of the UK fuels, and it's gone up 3p a litre on the one I use anyway. So it has gone up only 3p, but they're expecting it to rise and rise. The more time this goes on, this crap that's going on in Russia and Ukraine, the higher the price is going to go, the more they're going to feel the pinch. So, fuel, I think, is going to be... Is it going to go back to that mad thing when they said there ain't a lot of fuel and everyone went and emptied every bloody station? I don't know. I hope not. I've got... My van's okay. I fill up every day. I'm going to fill up now. I didn't fill up last night. I got home. Once I got home last night, I didn't bother filling up. So, tell me what you think about the fuel. How much price it's gone up next week, or it's gone up now. It's going to go up over the weekend. It's going to go up next week, apparently. And that's not me saying it. That's just what I got. I got an email from a fuel company who I use, who tell me that they're expecting the fuel prices to go dramatically up because the price of oil has gone massive as well. So, something to look out for. It's not good. Fuel's crap anyway. I mean, Big Beardy's on about it. What are we up to now? I mean, I'll get mine at the moment for 144 with VAT. I think mine's going up to 147. 147 is massive. I used to get fuel last year for 110, 115. You know, it's gone up massively. I see that if you send the CX, there's people putting on there what you should be quoting for jobs as well. Stop quoting low. It's going to happen. People are now getting panicky. They're not getting jobs. They're calling us drivers out for quoting too low, and I can understand it fully. What's the point of doing it too low? You've got to do what you've got to do, but if you're going to do it for nothing, you're going to go to the wall. I've said it on previous videos a long while ago. You're just going to go bust. You're going to work for £5 an hour, and it's not a highly paid job anyway. Doing it at the rate we do it at. I do it because I enjoy the driving. I enjoy the working for myself. Like we've said before, you're never going to get rich doing it, but you make a living. But if you're going to cut fuel, I mean, I've got a couple of shippers I speak to. This guy's quoting under 50p, 50p, 50p. Fuck's sake. Anyway, that's my rant. So that's Thursday. That's last week. I ain't got nothing booked in for Monday yet. I'm doing 5 days next week, hopefully. Thanks for asking about the dog. The hound is 100%. She had her bloods and another £100 we had to spend on her through... She had to have a urine on Tuesday. My wife... I was at work. I went home. My wife had to... my wife had to chase her around with a little scoop for her first wee to get urine sample. I'd love to have seen it. I'd love to. I wish someone had videoed it. And she had bloods on Tuesday. They came back Wednesday. And he's pleased to say our dog is 100% fit. Which is fantastic news. It is fantastic news, yeah. I mean, it's cost me an arm and a leg, I daren't even tell you. We stopped insuring both our dogs when Ozzy was alive about 6 years ago, so we're well in credit. But, yeah, this one at the moment, with her ulcers behind her eye and the specialist referrals, yeah, we're best part of £1,400 all in. But, hey, I'm still well in credit on what the insurance is worth for both dogs. And she's 100%, and we've just been for a mega walk, so thanks for that. I'm going to put another couple of videos out. One about my Citroen. I'm going to do a short video. I'll put it out sometime over the weekend. I've had it a year now, my Berlingo, little Scylla. And it's quite surprising what the costs are. I ain't far off, but I'll go into that. But hope you're all doing well. Stay safe. The weather's still crap up north, so it's pretty crap up north. I think it's going to be unsettled next week, but not as bad as what we've just had. So, Hope you're all doing well. Cheers.